All right, I think I'm live. Welcome to a Thursday night Facebook Live with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am so grateful that you're joining me. Whether you're catching me live or watching the replay, I just am really grateful for you. So, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to share today. And I also have a really fun project. And I have my September class to go, which uses the Hello Harvest bundle that I want to show you too. So, hey, Mom. All right. So, first, I can't remember all of this. So, it's September 1st, and Stampin' Up! Released like 5 new promotions today that I was kind of overwhelmed with. So, I have to have notes to tell you about them. Hi, Janie. Thanks for being here. So the first is that the Perfect Partners promotion, say that 3 times fast, started today. So there are 6 stamp sets, and they're all really different styles and topics, focus, whatever. I have COVID, you guys, so my brain's not totally functioning. But anyway, the Perfect Partners stamps are really fun. And they release dies to go with them. So there's the Yeti to Party and the Perfect Birthday Piggies and something Apple Blossom and some flowers, like really varied stamp sets so that now they all have dies. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. And after I finish this video, then I will put links to everything in the description of the video. And also I put up a few posts today that have links as well. So from there, they are also doing weekly deals this month. So the first started today. And hey, Aunt Pat, thanks for being here. I think there were 12 things that they put on sale, anywhere from 10 to 20% discount. I know, right, Janie? And it was some foil paper and several different embellishments and ribbon and linen paper, so several different things. So if you need any of those items are on sale through next Wednesday, the 7th. So if you're local, because they are smaller dollar items, if you aren't planning to put in an order in general, but you want something off of the deals, let me know and I'll add it to my weekly order and just prorate the shipping for you so you don't have to pay the big chunk. So there is that. And then there is on October 1st, I'm pretty sure it's 1st. I haven't changed my calendar, so who knows. But it's World Card Making Day. And this year it's really exciting because Stampin' Up! Is doing an event that's free to register for. It's all virtual, and so you can watch the event and craft along, or just watch and craft later, or whatever you want to do. But they did release a new bundle today called Warm Welcome that it's really cute, and it's got great dies, and it's focused on like the entry to a home, so a door and house numbers and all sorts of things like that. So that is one of the bundles that they're using in their World Card Making Day event, as is the Cottage Rose bundle. And then there's one that's a wreath that I can't remember what it's called at the moment because I didn't look this up right before I went live. So all 3 of those are available now. If you order one of them, then you can also get a free pack of the iridescent pearls, and those are beautiful. They're some of my favorite embellishments that we've had. So make sure that you get on that if you're interested. And then I have, so tomorrow is the last day to sign up for my September Christmas class, and I'm doing it live or so like in person and to go. So if you want in on that, let me know. I'm using the Cozy and Bright kit for this first class. And then I'll have 3 more classes. The next 2 are Stamp-A-Stack. So you'll make, what did I say, 12 cards total. And it's 3 each of 4 designs, I think. So by the end of this 4-class series, you'll have a whole lot of Christmas cards. And the last class is actually also packaging. So like gift tags and little gift boxes and things like that. So I'm excited. I think that it's going to be a really good series. And then I also have my September 19th, my regular Monday night class. So you can sign up for that. And then I've got that Hello Harvest class to go. Janie, that's so cute. Tell him how sweet. So the Hello Harvest class to go, I'm really excited about too. So I'm going to flip the camera and fix my lights, and I'm going to show you why I'm so excited about it. Maybe that will stay where it's supposed to be. So while I get this going. Okay, so, oh, and Janie, congratulations, because you won for sharing 2 weeks ago. I don't think I did a drawing for last week. Which reminds me that if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you like the video, and also if you can share it and let me know that you shared, then I will enter you in a drawing for the project that we make tonight. Okay, so I didn't close this back up because every time I do, I just end up undoing it. But this is what the class to go for the month is. So it's, you know, it's going to be tied up all cute with this cute little tag. So this opens up, and I got this pouch from Julie DiMatteo, the Paper Pixie. But when you open it, you have all of your cards. And so my intention is that you can make this beautiful set of cards and then give the whole pack as a gift to someone. So this pumpkin, oh my gosh, I just loved it. And these textural embellishments, and this cute little hello with the embossed foil there. And this time I also did all of the envelopes to coordinate because it is a gift set. So I figured we should go all out, right? So this one, so this does use Stampin' Blends to color the flowers. And so this is what the textural element looks like before you color it. I'm glad you like the idea. Thank you. And so they are wood, but they're really light and they adhere really easily. And they also break apart really easily. So here what I did was just split one and have it go where I wanted. So anyway, I think that there are a lot of different looks in these cards, and they are not all fall focused, even though we are using a pumpkin set. Like this one, I mean, there's nothing fall at all. So hopefully you like those. These are, this class is available for registration through, can't remember the dates on the form. Sorry, guys. Just a little scattered. I was out of town last weekend in New Orleans, which sadly is where I picked up my case of COVID, but it was amazing. And I'm also still very tired and dealing with sick kids, whatever. So anyway, tonight, what we are going to focus on for September is how to do backgrounds for our cards. And tonight I wanted to focus on just a regular background stamp. So I'm going to use the stacked stone, and I'm going to show you 2 ways to use these, and you can kind of decide what is more your style. But I did use this for 3 different samples. So I did a Christmas sample, and this I thought really turned out fun. I mean, you can see I just did Mary Merlot ink on basic white cardstock, and it really pops. So that one is fun. And then this one, my cute little witch from the Bewitched bundle. And I heat embossed the hat, and then I colored with Stampin' Write markers, and there's the little spider, but you can see the nice stacked stone in the background. And then this is the one that we will make tonight. And this one also uses the Jar of Flowers stamps, which I think came out a couple years ago, but they're still around and they're beautiful. And sunflowers seem very fitting this time of year. So that is what we're going to do. So to start, these are cling mount, so they're super sticky. So it is just stuck to the back of the stamp case, and that is where I often do my stamping. So I am going to ink this with Versamark. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too terribly much. So you can see that the stamp is getting shiny, even though you can't see like color, but I think there's enough on there. So then I just kind of line this up so that it's pretty straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you can see I've been doing this a few times, but I just bring in some scratch paper and rub it over the back of my cardstock to make sure that I get a good impression. And then once I feel like that's sufficient, I can peel it up. And as this ink dries, it actually gets kind of deeper in color. So you'll see that here in a minute. But while that is drying, I am going to peel the stamp up, and I'm not cleaning it in between because it's clear Versamark, so it just doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus, and I know I haven't used this in a minute, so figured it was time. But I think, let's see, I want to remove the foam pad because this is a red rubber stamp, so it's got its own foam. And then I want it to just kind of be down here in the corner. So I'm going to pick it up with my plate. And then, if I can find it, I have a piece of smoky slate cardstock. And I'm going to just pull it all the way down into the corner so that I'm pretty sure that I am in the right spot. And I'm using my Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to ink it up. And you can see how different it is when you're using ink versus the Versamark, as far as being able to tell if you've gotten enough ink on there. So the reason that I like this is, so I'm just going to push down and peel up, and I did not get a great image or impression. So I can re-ink here. And I can do this as many times as I need to, but it always works better if you actually rub across the back of the stamp. I just wanted to show you why this was such a nice technique, because now I have stamped it twice, but it stayed put, so I have a really good impression. And I could even ink it up and do it a third time if I wanted to make it darker. But then I would just trim off how much I need, and that panel is ready to go. So just wanted to make sure that you could see two different ways to use that. This is still very subtle, but I think maybe it's just my lighting. So now we can get to the actual card. So this is going to layer directly on here, just with some liquid glue. And so I was in New Orleans for the Stampin' Up! Leadership Conference, and it was amazing. And I came back feeling like I have so many ideas for my business and so many great connections with other leaders. So it was truly a huge experience, and I am so grateful that I got to go. And my sweet mother came in to take care of my children so that Joe could still work. And yeah, it was just a really good time. But I have lots of ideas that you'll probably start seeing over the next few weeks and months in how I run some parts of my business. So this jar is just from the Jar of Flowers stamp set, and it does have a punch, which is how I already punched that out. And this paper is actually from the Sun Prince Designer Series paper. So it's a little more varied color-wise than the straight netted navy. Sorry, trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is crushed curry. This color was so saffron. I'm going to come in with my early espresso ink here. And so the jar of flowers has tulips and roses. And I don't know what those are, but they're really pretty. And then it has these sunflowers. So, as I said, we're doing the sunflowers, but I really like this stamp set for how many different seasons this works for. And just in general, how pretty it is. The line art is really nice for coloring, which is what we will do with it. But I chose to stamp on colored cardstock instead of white because it allows me to color a little bit less than if I was just using white. And I also think that fussy cutting the flowers gives a little bit better result since there's not bits of white showing. So as I'm letting that early espresso ink dry, I'm just cleaning my stamps because early espresso tends to take a little bit longer than some of our other inks. So we can also actually do the sentiment if I can figure out what stamp set that sentiment is from. So I'm pretty sure it is from the host set, Sit, Stay, and Relax, that is in the annual catalog, which these cute chairs and their little animals are just so fun. So let's see, find the right one. And let's see if I can get this to stamp straight. It's always a little bit easier to line things up when it's photopolymer, but I think this will be okay. So bring back in my early espresso. So they had brought in several different speakers for us, and then also had demonstrator presenters, and just all in all, such a good time. And New Orleans was really fun. I'd never been there before. I really didn't do much sightseeing at all because it was just a quick in and out. But the city has a lot of life, and they finished the convention. I don't know if any of you were watching my Instagram and Facebook stories, but the convention finished with like a final night party, and as part of that, we were able to parade through the French Quarter with a jazz band, and it was amazing. Not my typical kind of experience, and I had so much fun. So I'm bringing in my dark Old Olive Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to get all of the foliage here. You could, if you wanted to, use the light and the dark, but I just decided that I didn't want to make this more complicated than it needed to be. And there's not enough space to really worry about trying to blend and shade and all of those artistic kinds of things. So I'm glad you thought it looked fun. I am never sure exactly how much to share because the point was not, hey, look at me over here having a blast. It was more like, this is what I'm doing and this is why. Because I think it's important that people realize what a community Stampin' Up! Has created, and that aside from just the fact that we enjoy stamping, there is a lot of meaning to what we do, and there's a lot that we can learn from each other in any situation, but especially the leaders that have much bigger businesses than I have really have a lot to teach me. So all right, now I'm going to bring in my SU500. So this is technically, I think, one of the skin tones, but you know, they're just all different shades of brown and they are so useful for so many different things. So there is just one little spot that I wanted to use for that. And this is my light cherry cobbler. So I'm just going to hit these smaller flowers. And this does not have to be perfect by any means. I mean, nobody's going to look that closely at how good a job I did coloring. So that is, oh no, missed one. I think this is it now for the red. So as you can see, not a ton of coloring, and then I'm just going to bring my Wink of Stella in and get the centers of the sunflowers. Add just a little bit of sparkle there. And then I just am going to fussy cut this bouquet. However, because I know you guys don't need to see that much cutting, I already did it for you. So what I have left then is just to put all the pieces together, and then we'll do the inside of the card, and that is a wrap. So aside from the cutting, this card comes together really fast, and I feel like using these background stamps really allows you to get a lot of mileage because you can get so many different looks from a single stamp. So I, of course, should have trimmed this before I adhered it, but I think I can, don't watch what I'm doing. I think I can make it work sometimes. And if not, we'll just cover it up, but actually that looks just fine. So now we can adhere our jar. And part of why I did the banner the way I did is that I wanted my jar to not just be floating. So it kind of gives it a surface to sit on. And then I want to pop these up on dimensionals. And my office looks like a bomb went off in here because I've been trying to design all of my Christmas classes and classes to go and all the things. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to dig it out tomorrow rather than design. So that's never fun. All right, so there is the front of our card, and it is hard to see the Wink of Stella on the camera, but it's there. And I really think it adds quite a bit. So now I'm going to bring in my little jar stamp again, along with my early espresso ink. And I am just going to bring in some scratch paper to protect my scratch paper because that's how I'm feeling today. And I just wanted this kind of stamped off the bottom edge there, like that. So just a little bit of a suggestion of what the front of the card is, and I think that that ties it together nicely without being too repetitive. So, any questions, any backgroundy suggestions that you would like to learn about? Because I have to say, it took me a little bit of time to figure out what to teach for this month. So I'm always happy to hear what you're looking for. All right, there is that. And there are my other samples from tonight. Bring that in so you can see everything. And then I'm just going to flip the camera. And there we go. All right, well, I'm glad you liked the card. Thank you. And if you could like and share this video, I would really appreciate that. I'll enter you in the drawing to win the sunflower card that we made tonight. And then, yeah, don't forget to check out all of my posts, because there is, like I said, a lot of Stampin' Up! News, and then all of my classes too, you know, going towards Christmas. There's just a lot of crafting to be done. So get ready and let me know if you have anything that you would like to learn or work on, and I will do my best to incorporate it. So thank you all for being here, and thanks for catching me on the replay. I will see you next week. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.